let's start from the very beginning. Success. You have to first realize that there's a choice to be made. You need to choose success. It's your choice, and no one will make it for you. So, from the very beginning and from the outset, you need to change your way that you look at certain things, change your thinking a little bit, and understand that you have a choice. Now, first, let's define what success is. The best definition I've ever heard of success is from Tom Hopkins, in which he says it's the continuous journey towards the achievement of predetermined worthwhile goals. Now, if we break this down into three sections, there's three key words here that need to be underlined and emphasized for you to understand exactly what success is. Because success is not just a bunch of money. Now, a bunch of money can determine or be part of success, but that's not overall success. The first word that we need to really look at is continuous. See, many people think that success is a destination, that you've arrived. You haven't arrived. Success will continue with the continuation of what you do. Now, what we're also looking at, the next word, very important, is predetermined. You are planning exactly where you are going. If you don't plan where you're going, you might not make it there. The fact is that if you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there because you don't know when you finally gotten there. So by predetermining exactly what you want and putting together plans and actions and moving towards that continuously is where then we bring in the last piece of this puzzle, which are goals. Which again, it's the goals that determine your success. And goals can be everything and anything, and can be broken down into several different steps or several different bits and pieces, but it still is the overall continuous journey towards that predetermined goal that you've set and towards the achievement of that goal. Now, when we're looking at goals, let's look at the number one key to success, which are the goals. Now, when we first arrive at goals, many people have heard in the past that we need to have goals and that goals are important, and we need to set goals on a daily basis or a continuous basis, and that's really what we need to do. Well, as human beings, we are goal-striving organisms, and that is really, in my opinion, the meaning of life. We set out to do certain things, we do it, and then we set out to do other things. Now, what makes someone more successful than someone else is the specificity of the goals that they are setting for themselves. Most people, I would venture to guess that 98, if not 99% of all the people that you'll ever meet never set any worthwhile goals for themselves, and they're never specific. It's, I want to make a lot of money, or, I'd like to get a new car, or I'd like to have a new house, or, I'd love to put my kids through school. Be specific. I would like a new car. In fact, I would like a 2009 BMW 750 IL, white, black tint, beige leather, with the premium sports package as well as the convenient package. And I would like to have the 20-inch high-performance, low-profile rims, and be specific. Okay? The more specific you are, the better chance you have of meeting that goal, because you're setting a target for yourself. It's like imagine this. Imagine if you were at a basketball game and you're the coach of this basketball team, and you get your guys all pumped up in the locker room before the big game. It's game 7, okay? And they are pumped. They're ready to just go crazy. They run out into the gym, onto the floor, and the basketball goals are gone. There's no hoops. There's no goals. The goal is specifically get that ball in the hoop. That's the goal. Okay, and do it as much as possible and stop the other team from doing it. Well, if there's no goals, then there's not going to be any success. And again, the most important thing is to set the worthwhile goals, be specific, and then follow up and write them down. Writing them down is extremely important. Many people think that they have goals out there and think that they're, striving for stuff, but they never write them down. They're never specific, and they're more of just generalities. And what this leads to is meandering, mediocrity, and most of the time never accomplishing it. And what happens even greater is the fact that they forget about the goal. They forget that that's what they were going for. And they get all pumped up and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do this goal and I really want this and this is exactly, what I want." They don't write it down. A couple days goes by, life gets in the way. They lose track of what they really wanted. They forget it. A few months goes by and then they think back one day, "Man, yeah, I forgot about that. I really wanted that. Oh, boy, I forgot." Oh, well, and they move on. Write them down. Be specific. And then once you've done that, take it the next step. Create a plan for the achievement. How are you going to do this? How are you going to get what it is that you want? And come up with a plan. Come up with a blueprint. Come up with a plan of action. Okay? And come up with certain steps that will move you towards that goal. And then simply implement the plan. This doesn't have to be difficult. People make this more difficult than it is. Set a goal, be specific, write it down. Then step back, make a plan for the achievement. How are you going to get there? And then start putting that plan into action. And then simply review and adjust the plan as needed. That really is as basic as it gets, because of the fact that all plans are going to be changed from time to time. It's just a matter of fact. Things happen. But what happens most of the time is that people start by setting a goal in their head. They don't write it down. So to me, a goal without being written down is nothing more than a dream. And dreams, they're all nice and good. However, it will not get you what you want. So you need to be specific. Now, if we want to get even more specific, I've created what I call the magic W formula for achieving your goals. This is really quite simple, but it starts off very simply with, what do you want? What is it that your goal is? And again, going back to being specific, what exactly do you want? And then the second step is why? Why do you want it? That's a step that most people never think about. And it's an important step. Why do you want what it is that you want? And think very clearly on that and write it down. That leads me to the third step, writing it down. Writing it down is very, very important, okay, because it puts your thoughts on paper. And there's something that happens when you put it on paper. It's sort of like a commitment. And now you're saying, okay, this is exactly what I want. This is why I want it. Let me write it down. Okay, and then the next step is determine when you want it. If you just write it down, I would like a new house. Number one, it's not specific enough. How many bedrooms, how many square feet, what kind of backyard, what kind of, other, little gadgets come with the house. What does the kitchen look like, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, be specific. Okay, why do you want it? And then when are you going to, get it? When do you have to have it by? Now, here's another very important W that we need to consider. What will you give in return for getting what you want? There's no free lunch. There's always something you must give before you can get. Whether it be time, whether it be money, whether it be resources, whatever the case may be. What are you willing to give to get what you want? And then once you have all this information, you have enough information to write what I call a success statement. Write out a 2, 3, 4 sentence success statement that puts all of this in a paragraph type form. And what this will do is it will put it all together. And in essence, by reading this, okay, and that's really the last step of this, which is work on this, what you want to do once you have that success statement is you want to read it aloud to yourself at least 2 times a day with conviction, with passion, with feeling that this is what you are going to receive. You are going to get your goal. You expect to get your goal. And then again, we're talking about expecting success. Okay? You have the seeds of greatness within you. We all do. Most people have such a negative self-image about themselves that they don't think that they're deserving of it or whatever else, we've been fed throughout our lives. But the fact is that we are goal-striving organisms This is what we do best. We put out something that we want, we figure out a way to get it, and then we go to work and we get it. What's happened to most of us is that we get lazy from time to time and we get complacent. Well, when you're talking about your goals and your success, put this formula into use. Take that success statement, read it with conviction twice a day. I recommend that you read it first thing in the morning when you get up and right before you go to bed. And there's some reasons for that. The main reason is that your subconscious mind is most available to you at that point in time. And what happens is your subconscious mind never goes to sleep. So once you give your subconscious mind a job to do, it will do it until it succeeds. And it will find ways to make that happen. Perfect case in point. Ever forget something such as the name of a song or a person's name or something along those lines, and you're like, oh man, what was that? It's on the tip of my tongue. I know it. Oh, I could see the person. Oh, what is their name? Something comes up and you forget about it. A day later, or an hour later, or 2 days later, or whatever, at some point later in time, all of a sudden, boom, Harry Jones, that was it. Yeah, oh yeah. Your subconscious mind was going through the Rolodex of all the information stored in your brain until finally, boop, it found it, and it pulls it out. The same thing is true with goals and with success. Because again, when we go back to the definition of success, that continuous journey towards the achievement of predetermined worthwhile goals, and we're expecting success, well, we're expecting to achieve our goals. Do this, put it out to your subconscious, read your statement twice a day, at least. You know, whenever there's something that I want passionately, okay, what I'll do is I will write that success statement and I will post it all over my house. I'll post it on my computer, I'll post it in my car, I'll post it in my bathroom, I'll post it in the kitchen, I'll post it on the fridge, whatever the case may be. Wherever I know that I'm going to be, I want to see that ingrained in my brain over and over and over and over again. Okay, so definitely we want to focus on that and, you know, keep on track. Now, there's several different types of goals. Many people think that goals are just material possessions. Absolutely not the case. The main types of goals that you really want to focus on in your life are family, personal, business, spiritual, and then social goals. Okay? And the reason for this is because you want to be successful in all areas of your life. Like I said, it's not all about the money. Money's great. Financial freedom is fantastic. But having a happy, productive family is most important to me. The reason why I make the money I make and I work the way I do is to support and to provide for my family. So I have family goals. And, you know, I'll get the family around and say, you know, what do we want to do this summer? Where do we want to go on a vacation? You know, what do you want to do? And I'm teaching my kids this as they get older. Okay, personal goals, you know, such as weight loss, such as, you know, being a better golfer or tennis player or, you know, whatever else your hobbies are that you want to focus on yourself. Business, obviously business, financial, building a business, building that job security. Because again, job security is what you make it. There is no such thing as security besides the security that you make for yourself. Spiritual, obviously, many of us, you know, want to, you know, have a very spiritual tie, you know, be closer to God. Whatever, you know, your thought is on that, that's between you and, you know, your higher power. Okay, and social among friends and everything else like that. So, you know, there's lots of different arenas for goals, and what you want to do is you want to focus on, you know, what's important to you. Now, the other thing that we need to understand here and really focus on is keeping on track and staying on track. Many people, all too often, they start and then they never finish. Okay, and it's just because of the fact that we lose focus and we get off track and then we don't get ourselves back on track. Everybody gets off track. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Bill Gates, Donald Trump, or any other person out there. We all get off track on our goals. Well, by understanding that achieving our goals is nothing more than a habit, we just have to get into the habit of working our systems and putting systems in place until we actually make achieving goals second nature to us. One of the biggest things to understand with habits is that they're very easy to create. It only takes about 28 days, about a month, to create a habit or to break one. Okay, understand that if you've created a habit and you want to break it, you're not going to break it the first week that don't go through with it, or stop that habit. You need to keep on keeping on. And the biggest thing that we need to do to stay on track is to review and analyze our progress every single day. And we do that in order to keep ourselves focused and to keep reminding ourselves what we're doing, why we're doing it, what am I willing to give for it, reading those success statements and understanding that you expect to get those goals. You expect to achieve that. And when you're doing this and you're going through this and you're review with that feeling inside you that you've already achieved it. And, just take a minute or two and sit back, close your eyes, and think of what it's like. Think of how you'd feel at that moment you just achieved that big goal that you set out for yourself. How does it feel? How do you feel? Can you feel the tinglies going through your body? Okay? I know this may sound silly to some, but believe me, this stuff it works like crazy. You just need to do it. And then, of course, what we need to do is adjust as we go off course. I have here written torpedo analogy. When you think of a torpedo going through the water to hit that other ship, a torpedo doesn't go strictly in a straight line. It zigs and zags. And with each zig and with each zag, it's going off course. So as that torpedo goes and it goes off course, it zigs back the other way. But it zigged too much. So now it's got to zag back the other way. But it zagged too much. And then it's got to zig, and then it's got to zag, and then it's got to zig, and then it's got to boom! It finally hit it. But what that's doing is it's realizing that it's getting off course. The goal is to blow up the ship in front of it, blow up the target. Well, once it gets off course, if it didn't stay on track, it's just going to go off course and it'll never hit a target. Well, what it does, it corrects itself as it goes off course, and it's going to go off course many, many times, just like us. We consistently go off course. So what we have to do is understand that and make amends and set up processes in order for us to adjust, because things are going to come up that are going to automatically take us off course. And you may have to adjust your game plan, you may have to adjust your time frame, whatever the case may be, but you want to stay on track and really aim towards that goal. Now, a couple helpful tips as we wrap up here is the one thing that has helped me a tremendous amount and really allowed me to see where I've been and helped me get where I'm going is a daily journal. This journal is fantastic because what it allows you to do is just keep daily progresses of what you're doing. And you can look back on it and review it. And what that'll do is it'll help you continue to move forward. Also, another thing, and this is kind of hard, but you want to ask yourself if what you're doing is the most productive thing that you could be doing at that point in time. Now, I don't mean to be a workaholic, and productive meaning that you always have to be in the office, you always have to be on the computer, you always have to be doing something to improve your business. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you need to be doing the most productive thing with your time in all facets of your life. Remember when we were talking about the different goals where we have family, personal, business, spiritual, and social? Well, maybe the most productive thing with your time is lounging around with the kids, playing with the Thomas the Train set. That could be the most productive thing you could be doing at that point in time. Maybe it is, working on some, computer work. Maybe it's, doing articles or blogging or videos or whatever the case may be as far as what you're doing. But ask yourself, are you doing the most productive thing that you could be doing? Well, maybe you're just goofing off playing video games. That's fine if you have that set up as far as a time frame for yourself. Okay, if you start, slacking off and that's all you end up doing is slacking off when you should be, doing productive stuff, then you're causing a detriment and harm to your goals and to your business. So just ask yourself, am I doing the most productive thing I could be doing at this point in time? And if it's yes, fantastic. And if it's no, figure out what else you should be doing and do it. The other thing is to review your progress and then celebrate when the goals are reached. Have celebration moments that, hey, I reached this goal. Celebrate with yourself however you want to celebrate. Celebrate, take a day off, go play golf. Celebrate, go out with some friends. Celebrate, take your wife out, take your family out, take your husband out, whatever the case may be. Okay, but just give yourself a little bonus. And then obviously what you want to do is you want to set more goals, because it's the continuous journey. Continue with that journey. Don't stop moving forward. Okay, and always map out your success. Figure out how that you're going to do it, even if you don't know how. Okay, now I know that may sound silly. Map out how you're going to do it, but you don't know how you're going to do it. Okay, well, map out what you think you need to do and figure out the areas in which you don't understand. Okay, maybe you're going to have to bring in some help or ask for help as far as, getting to where you want to go or finding the right people to help you. Okay, but always you want to map this out. You want to create a plan, because in business, and those that are the super achievers, everything is done for a reason. And what they've learned to do is map out their businesses and map out their progress and map out where they want to go. Okay, you wouldn't say, I want to take a drive across the country. Let's just get in the car and go. Well, where do you want to go? Well, I want to go to Idaho. Okay, well, I'm in Atlanta. Okay, I'm just going to take a road and I'm just going to drive. No, you're going to map it out. Okay, I'm going to jump on this highway, then I'm going to pick up this highway here, then I'm going to run this for blah, blah, blah. Okay, map out your success. Just saying, I want to be successful, I want to be rich, I want to make a lot of money, I want to provide for my family. That's awesome. Be more specific than that, obviously. And then how are you going to do it? Okay, I'm going to find a business that's going to focus on this. Well, I'm going to find someone to help me, whatever the case may be. Just map it out so you can look at it and, step back a little bit. And by doing so, you'll figure out where the holes are in your scenario and where you need to fill and where you need help. And that's the important thing. If you're just running willy-nilly, okay, or, as I've heard it called, you're a ship out in the ocean without a rudder, you're not going to get where you want to go, because you don't know where you want to go. So, hey, you might even get there. But it's also been referred to as a wandering generality as opposed to being a meaningful specific. So definitely map it out and be specific with yourself. And then, of course, what you want to do is stay positive and be expectant of the success. You deserve success. You have success within you. We all do. And just expect it. Do what's needed to be done in order to make it easy for you. Okay, because that's the only way that you're going to get what you want in any business whatsoever. So hope this was helpful to you. I enjoyed making it, and we'll talk to you soon.